guys, it's Biblical and I'm back again for another video. And today I wanted to reveal one of my biggest secrets to you guys. It's such a deep, dark secret of mine. I'm a Koreaboo. I'm sorry I couldn't say it loud. I'm a Koreaboo. Thank you for letting me say that. Thank you for letting me put that out into the universe. Okay. Jokes aside, I do want to seriously touch on this topic of the word, because the word has lost its meaning through the whole tossing it around. And if you didn't hear the word properly, the word is Koreaboo. So just like to share it with you guys. I do want to tell you guys reasons why someone could and would probably call me a Koreaboo, which I know and I believe. And I'm going to emphasize on that I, because this is my opinion. I know and I believe I am not one. And I will give you the reasons why I am not one. You know. Disclaimer before we start anything here. I do want to tell you guys that this is my opinion and I wanted to put it out into the world to hear the opinions of whoever comes across this video. So if you want to just tell me your opinion, and don't be afraid to kindly put them in the comments below. So yeah, so let's get started. So first I do want to give you the definition of Koreaboo, which is quote unquote someone who is so obsessed with the Korean cultures that they denounce their own culture and calls themselves Korean, end quote. I didn't actually quote that properly. I took some words out, but whatever. And that's the definition that comes from Urban Dictionary, and there's many other versions of that definition, but they're basically all saying the exact same thing. The most important part of that whole definition is the calling themselves Korean when in fact they're not. And I do want to say that actual Koreaboos are just people who are offensive to the culture because they're not taking any measures. They're not trying to learn the culture or the language to any extent. And that them be turning into a Koreaboo, that can start from at any point of them finding the culture. To be honest, I believe, me personally, that they're just idolizing and they're putting Asians or Koreans above themselves, and they want to be that themselves, so they call themselves Koreans or Asian when they're not. And I'm not here to explain to you what a Koreaboo is. I will be putting an article in the description box that I think sums up everything of what is a Koreaboo and what isn't a Koreaboo very well, and it's a very light read, so I will be putting that in the description box below. So for me, whoa, I yelled. So for me personally, I'm proud and happy to be like a Mexican American girl, you know, just vibing with my culture. I am proud. Yes, I am proud to say I like K-pop and K-dramas, and I'm trying really hard but very slowly to learn the language, but I just don't have that dedication, and I'm trying. Give me like 2 more years and maybe I'll be able to introduce myself, just like, yes. But the tipping point for me is that I actually want to move to Korea. I want to live in Seoul, South Korea, and many reasons why I want to move to Seoul. The reasons go from how beautiful the country is to how convenient and like how Seoul is just my dream lifestyle, with everything being so convenient and the city never sleeping, to even how rich the culture and like history they have, to the food. I seriously love Korean food, so why not move there and have it all the time, you know? Like, yes.
I need to stop.
And I didn't just one day wake up and was just like, yeah, I want to move to Korea, and didn't think any further of that. I have done my research. I've done a lot of research. And I have looked up and researched things from how much key money I would need, to the quality of apartment it will get me, to the cheapest parts of Seoul, to how much food will cost on average, because I like cooking and I like baking, so I would want to still do that when I live there. I have even researched the visas and which ones I qualify for, and each step and what each step requires. I have watched so many videos of people who have moved there for whatever reason and settled down, and just their life and how they adapted to the city. If I kept it simple though, if I just like, hey girl, hey, nice to meet you, I like K-pop, I like K-dramas, and I want to move to Korea, I would automatically be labeled as a Koreaboo, as a K-boo. And once you're labeled that to people, that's it. You're one forever. There's so many articles and videos and subreddits of people asking if they're a Koreaboo just because they're interested or their likes for K-dramas or whatever. And the fear in their eyes of not wanting to be one, and not because that word is very scary, is why I wanted to make this video, because I've been there. I've checked myself so many times being like, am I one? I would not want to say I liked K-pop or K-dramas or anything. I didn't want to be associated with, I shouldn't say associated, but I didn't want to let someone else tell me I was a Koreaboo, because I was afraid. And for me and for a lot of people, that word doesn't mean something light. Like, that word means you're offending people, or you're a culture, you're making people uncomfortable. And it's like, when you love that culture, when you're interested in it, you don't want to do that because you love it. And some people have dreams like my dreams of moving there, or some other dreams that they want, and they want to share to get encouragement and support, but they can't because they're scared of being canceled or called the Koreaboo. And I just seriously think that is completely wrong. And you know, it's like, whatever, the internet's a crazy place to be at, but I just don't believe that word should be used as often as it is used. And I'm not trying to come up I'm not trying to like bite you or anything. I'm not trying to be aggressive. I have made a realization that I do want to share with you guys, and that is that Koreans love sharing their culture. And when you're, my voice cracked, I'm sorry. When you're excited and interested and is enjoying their culture, they're very happy. And that goes for any culture that has very proud people. Like, coming from Mexican culture, I understand. And when I share my culture to people who are interested or people who know nothing about it, just them enjoying it and thinking it's cool or liking it, that makes me feel proud of my own culture. And it's such a pleasant experience that everyone should be able to experience, you know? And the reason why this word Koreaboo, this word, it means a lot, and why I think it should be taken more seriously, is because that word can scare people from wanting to enjoy the culture, from wanting to open up their hearts to different people. And when people get scared and shut off and say, no, I'd rather not be made fun of, or I'd rather not be canceled or whatever, that lets people stay in their closed-mindedness. And when people become closed-minded, the world just becomes colder than it already is. And who wants to live in that world? What I would really want to see is the word taken more seriously, the word, in other words, but this video, this topic, Koreaboo, taken more seriously and not thrown around so easily, and realizing that just because you want to involve yourself in the culture in whatever sense, just because your dreams or ambitions or lifestyle is involved in that Korean culture, doesn't mean you should be afraid to express that because you're gonna be called a Koreaboo because you're not. And I don't think you deserve that. And yeah, woo! And I wanna really emphasize, just because you think no one will know it was you or you're just one person, a bunch of people, that word still affects people and it still scares people because they see you calling this person that and they're just like, I'm like that person, I'm just gonna steer away. If you don't do it, people won't follow, you know? As human beings, we are a society, community-based society. And it's so ingrained in us because it's life or death kind of situation. If we aren't allowed into the community, it'll be like, oh, now I have to survive on my own and I might get killed by that lion. You know, it's like so ingrained in us. We're so very much instinctual. So if you were one of those people who just was like, you know what, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna use that word so lightly. I'm not gonna like make fun of people that so easily because of it. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I see you, girl. You're right too. You know what? I shouldn't do it either. And you'll just see less and less people doing it. And I think that would be the right steps, you know? Just a piece of advice, if you do want to immerse yourself in the culture or just is interested and curious and you can't take yourself to Korea or there's not a Korean community around you, you could join a Korean cultural exchange. Many of them are online because of the state of the world right now. And you can learn so much insight of the culture and you can find out from Koreans themselves what they could find offensive, what they find big no-nos, and they'll understand that you probably don't know anything about the culture. But you should do your research, you should be careful, you know, make sure it's a legit one. I want you to be safe, but you should have fun. And it's a good way to share your own culture with them as well. And you know, a mutual exchange, girl. Let's just do that. So that's it for this video. I do have a lot of opinions because I am very much opinionated. I have a lot of opinions on topics like this, like K-pop and stuff like that, that I would want to share with you guys to hear your insight and hear your experiences with it. And I just want to say, like, look out for those, you know. I be trying to be on a roll right now. So yes, and remember, I do want to hear your opinions kindly in the comments and start a conversation with me. I want to hear about you and your experience. I also want to say, because you know I had to, if you liked me, please show me that you liked me and hit that like button for me. And if you really liked me, I am trying to expand this beautiful family of mine, and if you want to become a bebe with me and everyone else, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. Think that's something people are saying. I'm not sure. So thank you so much for watching. I hope good energy comes into your life.
Bye bye, bebes.